With the CNN News 18 exclusive information that's come to the fore, where there are intensive talks that are currently underway in Kabul to build a consensus government in Afghanistan. Taliban is now looking for a consensus. Hamid Karzai and Dr. Abdullah have sent teams to Panjshir to speak to Amrullah Saleh. Sources close to Amrullah Saleh are saying that he will resist and will start a resistance. Anas Haqqani of the Haqqani network, chief, he is also in Kabul. Abdul Ghani Baradar is still in Kandahar and is trying to working on the shura of religious leaders to get them together, because they also have a loya zirga. And will the Taliban accept to go ahead into that council, that is the loya zirga, and get acceptance from all? Now, the fact is, what stands out here at this point is that there is immense pressure, international pressure on the Taliban to ensure that there is consensus overall. Given a choice to them, they would have set aside the likes of Amrullah Saleh, Hamid Karzai and others, and decided to do things the way they know, that is by the dint of the gun, now the bullet. But the fact is, right now, they are trying to build consensus so that there is no resistance. But Amrullah Saleh has already declared himself constitutionally as the president in the absence of the president, because he is the first vice president. And he says anybody who has to talk to me. And I want everybody to come together to restore the pride of the Afghanistan national flag. Replacing the flag itself has not gone down well with the people of Afghanistan, who are upset with America for leaving them high and dry and putting them in a mess that it is. But on the other hand, they have also not accepted the Taliban, who are trying to force themselves upon the people, and they do not have the will of the people on their side. Well, so that's the information that our investigations editor Manoj Gupta has got us, that at this point there are multiple level talks and engagements that are going on. Everybody is trying to convince everybody. And what we are given to understand is that there are talks and negotiations that are going on. Hamid Karzai and Abdullah have sent teams to Panjshir to talk to Amrullah Saleh. Amrullah Saleh is saying he is going to resist, and the Northern Alliance seems to be getting active. And there is resistance. Anas Haqqani of the Haqqani network, and that's the chief. He is in Kabul, but Abdul Ghani Baradar is still sitting in Kandahar, where he's trying to convince the Shura, that is a group of the religious leaders, and get them on board as to how things will go on forward. There is a Badri squad that is trained in Waziristan that has taken charge of Kabul. There are multiple checkpoints by Taliban that have been established, but the checking has reduced. And what one sees is that they want to get consensus. There is immense international pressure that the only way that Taliban is going to get recognized, and a government that is being put in place, or an administration that is being put in place by the Taliban, is going to get recognized internationally, and that they are going to have international aid, support, recognition, is all going to be only if everybody who is a stakeholder in Afghanistan or represents the Afghan people in any way has to be part of it. Pathikrit Paine is with us. Pathikrit, most importantly, when we have somebody like Amrullah Saleh, a Tajik, who is sitting in Panjshir, and Panjshir is still not under Taliban control, saying he's going to resist, and there are others who are slowly giving him support, and they're regrouping, trying to say we want to restore the pride of the Afghanistan flag. Ahmad Shah Massoud's son, has now joined hands and forces with Amrullah Saleh, saying my objective is only twofold. One is to wipe out the Taliban, and two is to restore the Afghanistan flag and its pride.
Absolutely, Anand. You know, in any case, we have to remember that almost, more than 50% of the population of Afghanistan consists of Tajiks and the Uzbeks and some Turks and Baluch, who would never accept the hegemony and the atrocity of the Afghans. And that's why, irrespective of whether countries like India would support them or not, this resistance is going to start, and this resistance is going to flourish. Amirullah Saleh was one of the most trusted lieutenants of Ahmad Shah Massoud when the Northern Alliance was at its peak. And remember, during the height of Taliban rule, even then, they could never capture the northern part of Afghanistan, which was under Northern Alliance. So this alliance is going to get revived. This alliance is going to make sure that there is resistance, because there is a limit to how much, people of Afghanistan are going to accept this brutality, which has already started. As we had discussed a few days earlier, that once the PR exercise starts getting over, once the cameras will start move, they will start their atrocities, and there were reports of the way they actually brutally killed the Hazaras. They will start doing the same with the Uzbeks and the Tajiks as well, and they will also do it with other Pashtuns who will not accept their line of thinking. Right. So this resistance is only a matter of time. It was always a matter of time, and I think these Afghans are more courageous than President Joe Biden and his forces with all the arsenal they had at their disposal, who unfortunately, like cowards, left Afghanistan at a time when the Afghan people were embracing development, and the moment, they were ready doing it, they were actually getting integrated to the rest of the civilized world.
The Americans, from their point of view, they say that they were damned if they did and they were damned if they didn't, because there was increasing amount of attrition which was happening in terms of the support that Americans and American troops had on ground, and it was eroding. They were also losing ground to the Taliban. This has been happening over the last 3-4 years. It's not about what's happened in the last 3-4 months. But the exit itself and the manner itself, has it been hasty? Has it been haphazard? Have they left back huge tranches of arms and also cash and stacks of it at the hands of these militia? That's also a question. But particularly what also stands out is that the Afghan forces, 300,000 of them, how could they be, they run away, leave their posts and run away? Where are the chiefs who are supposed to be able to be manning the posts and also marshalling the resources to ensure that there is a counter that happens and the Taliban don't run roughshod? Where is Ashraf Ghani? Why did he run? Why did he flee? The only person in that leadership who's currently saying that I will resist the Taliban is Amrullah Saleh. Even Abdullah and also Hamid Karzai, they're all engaging. Gulbuddin Hekmatyar, they're all engaging with the Taliban.
Anand, this is again the question. You have raised a very important question, and this is something that has to be wondered. What kind of training was given by the Americans to the Afghan National Army, who did not know or who did not have the conviction to fight for Afghanistan? That's number one. And this is again the same thing what the Americans did in 1989-90 when they left Afghanistan, leaving behind a large army of trained mujahideen. They left behind the weapon systems. This time also they did the same thing. So unfortunately, by design or default, the Americans have made today the Taliban much more weaponized than what they were probably 30 years back. So this is, and secondly, even if they withdraw, there is a way of withdrawal. And there were intelligence reports that the Taliban will take over. The fundamental question that can also be asked is, did Afghan National Army voluntarily did not fight, or is it they were also instructed from behind the scene that don't fight and let the Taliban take over? Secondly, this is also a lesson that when you put in puppets as governmental heads who have no inclination towards grassroots democracy, who don't understand the complexities, like Ashraf Ghani, they would eventually run away when the masters stop pulling the strings from behind.
Correct.
This is what the Americans failed to do. They failed to create an industrial revolution. They failed to bring in education. They did not understand the societal complexities, and they actually put in puppets rather than those who had that grassroots level understanding of fighting. Amrullah Saleh actually faced a lot of politics. He was a better person. Any person like that was better. And, Anand, this is not something new. This is exactly what happened in Iraq. After Saddam Hussein was killed, Americans failed to bring in peace in the name of democracy. They put in a puppet regime which again did not understand the complexities of a diverse society of Iraq. The Shia-Sunni sectarian violence started, and with the moment the Americans realized that they have done enough and they were about to exit, they realized that they have ended up creating an ISIS. And ISIS was created in Iraq in the same manner in which a weaponized Taliban has got resurrected, thanks to none other than United States, which